Hello, everybody. I'm Mike,
And I'm Maria.
and this is Talk Alley.
Hi, Mike.
Hello, welcome, listeners and viewers, to this episode of Talk Alley. We'll be joined today by a feminist, activist, and social democrat.
Wow.
Yes. But before we introduce our special guest,
Yes,
yes,
Mike, what do we have?
yes,
Okay, so we're going to have a formal book launch. Of course, we have mentioned this to all of you that we're launching our book at the Villa Flora in Munich.
yes, correct.
Yes, with a food and culture fest, a Filipino food and culture festival. So we'll be there. It's sponsored, of course, by Calidad Foods.
Mhm.
And who else? Local Bayong.
Yes, local Bayong is also
Local
going to be
Bayong
there.
is going to be there as well. They will have a booth at the festival, and they are giving out vouchers, 5 vouchers for 10 euros. So you can claim these vouchers at their booth. But of course, we are going to give them away here on Talk Alley. Plus, the food festival is also giving away tickets.
Yes.
So please do comment or like the page, subscribe to our channel, or just follow us today on our live episode, and we might pick you as one of the winners of the tickets and vouchers.
Yes, that's true. We will also, of course, this episode is sponsored by SMDC. Every single day, SM touches the lives of millions of people
Yes.
through its stores, malls, banks, hotels, and leisure facilities. Now, Filipinos can live in style, comfort, and convenience with SM Development Corporation.
A quick dip just outside.
Grocery needs? Just a short stroll.
Coming home? Just a ride away.
Live closer to the things that matter to you. Premier living within reach at Light 2 Residences from SMDC.
Yes, Mike. So our guest for today is a graduate of Central Philippine University in Iloilo City, of course.
Go
It's-
Lions!
Yes, Golden Lions.
Golden Lions. Yeah, go Golden Lions.
Yeah, and of course she's now currently residing in Spain as an executive marketing a marketing executive in Spain, of
Yes.
course. And yeah, and we're very excited to have in our show today on Talk Alley. She finally had the time to be a guest. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, Rachel Antoinette
Contreras.
Hello. Hola. Hola, Rachel.
hola. Hola ba yun or hola?
Hola.
Hola.
It's a silence.
Are you fluent in Spanish already, Rachel?
I can't say fluent, but I do speak Spanish. Sometimes work requires me to, but as much as possible, I try to avoid it. No, just kidding. I mean, like when you go out, you really have to talk Spanish, speak in Spanish because people
That
here
is
are bored.
Yeah. What do you call this? Basic
Conversation.
Conversation.
Like small talk.
Yes,
Mhm.
you can.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Before
So-
we proceed to our topics, how's the weather there? Because here it's summer just came back.
Yes.
Someone just
Same.
yeah. Well, it's been summer since it's been hot since around late May, and right now it's really, really, really hot. So it's I don't know how can I describe it. Well, to sum it up, I'm in my house all weekend,
Mm.
hiding
Are you?
with my full blast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where
It's been
where in
consistent.
Spain do you reside?
Madrid.
Yeah, I live in Madrid.
Okay.
Okay. So how would family and friends describe you?
Unpredictable.
Okay.
She had, she was thinking, like, how would my family and friends describe me? Yeah, well,
Okay. So
unpredictable.
something you like to add? Or
No, I guess that's just it. Cause like I do things differently. I do make plans, but I just
Mhm.
act on them, and no one knows until that happens, or very few people know. And sometimes I change my mind, and just what goes on and everything.
Okay.
So let's just say I like to live my life day by day. See where
Mhm.
it goes, especially right now that I'm starting over in a new country and everything. So yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So, for inquiries, ladies and gentlemen, please contact us here at TalkAlley by sending us a message. You may also email us at talkalley.original@gmail.com for more information. If you have questions about our guest Rachel, please write them in the comment section now or after the show. And of course, you can also support us by sending us stars. Also, please do follow us on our page. We also have an Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube channel so you can watch more of the shows that you might have missed.
Yes. So now we proceed to questions. How long have
Yes.
you been living in Spain now, Rachel?
I've been living here since April of last year, so that would be around just a bit more than a year.
A year now.
Okay. Okay.
More than a year now, right?
Yes,
More
more
than a
than
Because
year.
you're already.
yes. And why did you decide to leave the Philippines to go to Spain?
Well, actually, I've always been planning to move to Spain. This has been a plan from since before the pandemic. But some circumstances last year, due to the political climate in the Philippines, led me to
Mm,
leave and abruptly, and just in an instant, I was something was happening, and then the next week, I was already in Spain.
okay.
Why
And
Spain of all
yes, what
countries?
especially attracts you to
Spain.
that Latin country? I don't understand Latin. Is it Latin country? Can we say Latin? No, because it's
I don't
in
know.
South America. Okay, what attracts you to Spain? Too much thinking.
That's all. No, just kidding. Yeah, I came here a lot. When I came here the first time when I was younger, I've
Mm,
always told myself that I was going to move here. I love the country. I have
mm,
so many, I have so much ties to the country with my grandfather's family and my grandmother's family being from Spain
okay.
as well. So it's like the culture feels. I was raised in a very Filipino Spanish household wherein the Spanish values were still, instilled in us. And, I feel like the culture is closest to me. And especially the language is not hard to learn because being an Ilongga, I have a lot of words that are derived from the
Yes.
Spanish language. And it's very easy to understand. My grandmother would use the language sometimes and stuff like that. So it was just, I guess, not just easy, but I felt close to the culture. I felt at home actually coming to
Mhm,
Madrid and to Spain a few times. And, it's just like it has a feeling of home, even if it's
mhm.
like a million miles away from home.
Okay. Besides the language that was fast to adopt for you and also like feeling at home, what are the other difference that you see between Spain and the Philippines? Can you point out a few more?
Hmm. The difference is, I guess that Spain is the more progressive, I guess. And that's another reason why I came here. There are a lot of things that Spain is already doing in terms, especially with my advocacy in terms of gender equality, feminism. I can't say that they're already at the top of it, but this country has done a lot, took strides in the fight for gender equality and feminism, which I think is very nice,
Mhm.
considering that well, the Philippines is like Spain, but in the early 90s, I guess. So the early 1900s, sorry. So it's like you get to learn stuff. You get to learn things on
Mm.
how they go about with things. And, sometimes with what I do back home or when I communicate with people that I work with back home, it's nice to be able to apply things from a standpoint of a country that also came from the same roots, like with the church being at the center of everything.
Okay. Okay. Is the Filipino community big in Spain or like in Madrid as you are now?
I think I would be honest, I'm not really very active when it comes to, the
Mhm.
activities of the Filipino community. But I attended some of the events and see the Independence Day event. Yeah, it's and it was only here in Madrid. It was pretty big. I saw a lot of people, a lot of Filipinos from, different backgrounds and just coming together to celebrate
Mm.
ironically the independence of the Philippines from Spain in Spain.
Yes.
Okay.
Rachel, is it because we were colonized by Spain for more than 300 years? It's for you living in Spain, there won't be a lot of huge adjustments because of the cultural the same maybe cultural influence. We are heavily influenced by Spain. That's why Filipino tend to migrate, they're attracted to Spain, and they
Mm.
then migrate there easily.
I think for a lot of Filipinos, one of the reasons that migration here is pretty high among Filipinos is that it's easier to become a citizen here in Spain if you're a Filipino, because since we were colonized by Spain, you
Mm.
only have to be a resident for 2 years and then you can apply for citizenship. So that's a benefit of all the colonies of Spain. So countries in Latin America, the Philippines, and some other countries that were colonized. But I think for me, yeah, you would say that it's the cultural influence of Spain towards the Philippines, and maybe it's also because that like I said, I have very close ties to Spain, especially with my family. So it's like
Mm.
just going around, going to Castilla-La Mancha or going to Andalusia to meet my grandmother's cousins who
Okay.
or my grandfather's relatives that I've never met before, and just um maybe part of me or Spain is a part of who I am because of that and stuff like that. So,
So we
Is
have, yeah.
language also important when you become a citizen? Like
oh
just
yeah,
like in Germany,
it
you
is.
take
It
an
is.
exam as well.
So basically, to apply for citizenship, you have to take two exams. So there's a cultural exam and there's a language exam that you need to take. I think for the language exam, if
Level there
I'm
are levels also.
it's A2 or B1 at least
Ah,
for the
okay.
language exam. Yeah, and the culture exam is basically not even just Spanish history. It's Spanish culture. A lot of the questions would also be about Spanish popular culture, like
Ah,
Okay.
that's nice.
Italia and stuff like that, which I know nothing about, by the way.
But I think in time, of course, you'll learn it. And yeah, it's quite easy to imagine 2 years here. It's I think five for married for if you're married to a
Yes,
German, 5 years,
minimum of five.
and
Yeah.
I think longer, eight, maybe
Yes.
7 or 8 years
Mm.
for non-married
It's
Yes,
even
and you have
Spaniards.
quicker.
to reach like B2 level.
It's even quicker if you're married to a Spaniard because I think it only
Ah,
takes 1 year. So if you're married to a
5 years.
Spaniard, it takes 1 year and then you can apply for citizenship.
Are you gonna marry a Spaniard?
No, right now doing that.
Considering that.
I'm not considering that. I think that I don't want more trouble in my life right now.
Okay. What are the common issues that Filipinos face in Spain? Can you point out some? You said
Because
you're not in so much involved in the Filipino community,
yeah,
but have
but
you?
before, kasi
Mm,
racial used to be like very active with human rights
mm,
and social
Mm.
issues in the
yeah.
country. And why did it change? Like, why did you step back from that when you
Oh no,
arrived in Spain? Are you still
I,
involved in?
maybe the thing is it's a new whole environment. I'm still rebuilding my network. I have some networks here, but I'm still rebuilding it. So right now I'm just focusing on just adjusting, starting over and everything. But yeah, I still am active in a lot of ways. I have conversations with friends, international friends who are involved in,
Human
activities of human rights, and we do talk about it. And it
Mhm.
also comes to a point where I always have, every time they need anything from me, I would direct them, of course, to my party back home because they're the ones who know best what's going on. Although, of course, I do know what's going on back home, but they're the
So
ones who know best what's going on.
yeah, so now that's a confirmation that she's still within the loop. And now Mike's question is, hearing from these individuals or from friends or just a short conversation, what are the common issues that Filipinos face there in Spain
Yeah,
in
well,
terms
here
of
in
probably labor or living or everything?
I
Just the
think
common ones.
some of the most common issues, especially here in Madrid, is still profiling. Racial profiling is still very prominent. You would say that it's very progressive, but oh my god, I'm saying this. Well, I always say this anyway. Um, the Madrid is run by a more conservative faction of the government,
Oh,
and well, not just Filipinos. per se experience this, but there's always these, police watching out, giving a extra eye on, keeping an extra eye on people of color, Filipinos, and stuff like that. So I think that's unfair because at the end of the day, these are also residents of the country, and we don't deserve to be profiled racially like that. Some, I guess, not much. Aside from that, or
Mm.
maybe I wouldn't be the best person to speak about regarding this. Like I said, I'm not very involved in the Filipino community, so I'm not really that aware of the real issues that they're facing here.
But saying that, Rachel, have you ever experienced?
No, as
No.
well, luckily, no, I have not been racially profiled yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's scary at the same
It's
time,
probably more shocking if you experience it yourself, right? It's easier said than done, actually. Sometimes when you're just a third person looking in, you know,
Yeah.
in that kind of scenario, it's you're just talking about it. But then if you experience it, it's like,
Yeah.
very traumatic, most likely, right?
It's like
I think
so
activists in her will just burst out.
well, actually, sometimes I'm like, I want to do something, but of course I can't. But like, there's nothing much I can do about it. But I have this funny habit of we have the I my friends and I make these jokes about the police being extra hot here. They're like they're nice to look at, and then you're coming out of the metro and seeing these police just coming up to colored people and like people like me of brown skin color, whatever skin color, like they feel like you're not purely Spanish, and they would just profile you and interrogate you and harass you and things like that. To the extent that it's like he's hot, but like, dude, that's so not that's so not right what they're doing, and it's funny, but at the same time, it enrages me that I just pass it off as a joke because as a person here who is one of the people they're profiling. It's not. It's something that there's not really anything I can do, and at the end of the day, they might find something to use against you, and
Okay.
you end
So,
up
so
without
we really
protection.
approach. I've never
Yeah,
seen police
they
officers.
approach individuals.
Yeah, like here in Germany, they would for those who are like consistent, or maybe in groups that are
Yeah.
always loud.
We of course we see it sometimes in
Yeah,
Frankfurt where most of the
but not of
yeah,
colored individuals.
yeah.
Generally, even with Germans, they would approach them if you're like super drunk there and being rowdy, or a group of boys, trying to scream at each other.
Mm-hmm.
They try to pacify everyone, but not specifically in a group of individuals of color.
Yes.
I haven't. Maybe I was just not.
Yeah.
I'm not just aware, but I've never seen police officers
Yeah.
do that here in Germany.
Yeah,
Have
so
you?
the European Union and the European Community was looking at the recent elections of Premier or President Sanchez. What is his? Is he a far right or is he a liberal person? I'm not so sure about.
Um, uh, Pedro Sanchez is from the Socialist Party of Spain, so it's PSOE.
Oh,
It's of course the left. Yeah,
mm,
that was a very scary election, by the way. That really
Oh,
scared
okay,
me.
yeah.
really?
The,
Why do you say scary? What happened?
It was because that the thing here is that if like had the other side won, like the right won,
mhm,
we would have to make concessions with this super far right wing party. Like basically, these people supporting Franco.
mm,
So these people they're like the worst people. We call them fachas here, and they're very anti-immigration, and I think, and aside from that, they're just the people who would discriminate against anything that's not purely Spanish. And I would know, I've dated someone from that, yeah, from that
mhm.
party, which was one of the biggest regrets that I've had so far.
So, Rachel, what do you love most about Spain?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
you're living there.
That's a very long list. I think what I love about Spain is the diversity. It's one of the cities here in Europe where a lot of people just come from all everywhere, coming here. The diversity, the culture, a lot of the culture I love. Well, not the kind that
Similar to our culture, right? We have
there's.
fiestas, they have fiestas. We probably introduced
Oh,
them.
we always have fiestas here. That's what I love about it. Like
Yes.
every weekend is like a fiesta of some saint, and
Is it the same? Is it the same like in the Philippines where the people like in the community they go from place to place? Do they go inside the house? I mean, how is it?
I wouldn't say they would go inside the house, but like for
Yeah.
example, that's I think that's a Filipino thing. But
Okay.
the fiestas here, like the past 2 weekends, there was a fiesta of some saint, and then last weekend was
Okay.
San Lorenzo. So some communities have these parties, just street dancing and food stalls, but that's about it. Like
We have
como
that too. Food stalls. Do they have like barbecue also outside? Do they sell that too?
well, not I guess. Well,
Grilling.
grilling, yes, they do grill the sausages and some meats and things. Yeah, kind of like ours.
Isaw.
Yeah. I wish there was isaw. I really miss eating
Isaw.
isaw.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what are the similar things that we have that Spain had? Maybe yeah. We've learned because we have a colleague who's from where's Daniel?
We
Is
have a
he from
colleague.
Madrid as
He's also
well?
from Madrid.
Oh, Madrid.
So regards to Daniel, yeah, our colleague.
Yeah. Yes, and he sometimes tells us about the similarities, like the fiestas or the Halloween before Halloween. Oh, what do you call that?
Ah,
The Day of the Dead.
Yeah,
Dia
they.
Also,
Dia
the
de los
Day of the Dead.
Santos.
Yeah,
It's
Yes.
I think they
usually
have a
the All
longer
Saints Day.
celebration.
It's the All Saints Day. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the 1st of November. Yeah, we have Dia de los Santos here as well.
Mm.
I guess the some of the Christmas traditions are very
Yes.
on point as well.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, the Semana Santa,
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay.
the Semana
Is there
Santa tradition.
language also racial? The way we speak in the Philippines, are there also similar? It's easier to speak Spanish because some of our words are integrated with Spanish
Yeah,
words.
and I think it's not just that. It's because in the Filipino language, and we pronounce things as is.
Hmm.
So they do pronounce things as is as well. It's like that we don't have a lot of silent letters or some weird,
Mm.
Loud.
just, yeah, long sounds, short sounds. It's basically pronouncing things as is.
Oh, that's
Okay. It's
wonderful.
just like it's like I don't know. But in the Italian language, I feel like they're like singing it, right? And then in
Mm.
Spanish, I'm also they feel like because it's so fluent how they talk. And if you have like a real native speaker, it's like and then yeah. And then talking about language, we yesterday we saw that reel about that one word the kid was pronouncing. The mother, Filipino mother, was saying that word, and
Yeah.
then the Spanish speaking dad was
Yeah,
saying
the
you cannot
word.
say that, and the word is puto.
Oh my God! Yes. So
Yes.
for
Not
us,
allowed
it's a
to say
very,
it because it's
a big.
food in our country. I was shocked
Yeah, me
actually.
too. I was like, what?
So
Really?
for us, puto is a very delicious rice cake.
Yes.
But
Yes.
for them, puto is like the male version of puta.
Yeah, it's like a prostitute,
Mm.
right? Is that right? No,
Yeah.
Really?
so
Yes,
a
a
gigolo,
prostitute.
gigolo.
Ah, really?
I
In
think so.
Spain, it's
Yes.
a male version of
So
a gigolo. Wow. I
yeah.
didn't know that. Maybe I should joke to Daniel about it. Have you eaten a puto? He's
Yeah,
gonna be in shock.
yeah. Then talking about food, I know that Daniel is living nearby, but have you visited the newly opened? Well, it's newly opened. It's just a half a year already.
Jollibee.
The Jollibee already
Of
in
course.
Madrid.
Yes, I get my share of peach mango pie there every time I feel like I'm
Oh.
missing home. I with your
Yeah.
reactions, I am guessing that the nearest Jollibee would be where? Milan or
Yeah, we
London?
went to Milan to visit
Yeah.
Jollibee
Mhm.
specifically.
But there's no Jolly Spaghetti in Milan.
And next is Madrid. Yes, very
Yes.
soon we will be there too.
Yes, you have to come visit.
Yeah, of course, and of course, Rachel. What do you, how do you see yourself 3 to 5 years from now, still living in Spain?
Of course, yes, definitely
So you really plan
to stay
be a
here.
resident, be a citizen there?
It's not about being citizen. It's about, being close to the culture here. I feel very at home here. I feel
Mm.
very happy here. For once I don't have to pretend to be little Miss Perfect. And you know how it is in our Filipino small towns, especially
Yes.
living in Negros where everyone knows everyone. So it's like I don't have to pretend to be such a good girl. I can go out and get drunk and no one would report to my mom that I'm out and drunk and stuff like that.
You just told the world,
My mom,
Mommy,
my mom knows
Rachel was out.
my mom knows what I'm doing here. I
Everyone's
mean,
reporting, oh my God, did you hear your daughter? She
Yeah.
said it on live
Yeah.
broadcast. She was
And
out partying.
and yeah, and I heard also that it's like in Italy the people they stay out like 10 is like 10 p.m. is like where like the evening starts there. They're like
Oh,
that's
just like
early
sitting
enough.
outside, sitting outside and drinking. That's normal there. That's cool.
10
So
o'clock in the morning.
No, in the
Oh, in
evening,
the
in the
evening,
morning.
okay.
we start we start very late here.
Yeah,
We start
yeah.
very late here. So basically, breakfast here would be 10 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Lunch would be around 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and dinners would be from 10 onwards. And
But
that's
wait,
L-
when
remember we
Lanyards.
saw that film of Daniel Padilla and
Um,
Barcelona.
Barcelona, the
Barcelona.
Barcelona movie.
Have you
Barcelona.
seen it? Because is it similar to is it really like that they're like multi jobs for some Filipinos? They have to take on
I
a lot of work. Yeah.
I mean, like, I know a lot of people who work double jobs here.
Oh.
It really depends on the kind of job that you're doing and the kind of expenses that you have. But
Mm.
I would say that Spain is not an expensive place to live in. I
Mm.
mean, I work one job. Well, I have another job, but that's just for fun. I work one job, and I can pay for an apartment where I don't have roommates. I can
I'm
spend.
surprised you took on a corporate job now.
Actually, it took time for me to get it. I actually had to go the hard way. It's like
Oh,
Hmm.
even worked as a cocinera in a restaurant.
wow.
I worked as a
Survived that.
I did for a few months, and
Imagine.
then this job called me, and they're like, "We found your CV and everything." I'm like, "Yes, yes, yes! Give me that interview. I want that interview. I cannot leave. I'm so
Okay.
tired."
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's something that you can be proud of. You can talk about to your grandchildren in the future, something to nag them, right? So yes, corporate world. How is it compared to your work before in the different organizations, going to the masses, the field,
Mhm.
yeah,
well,
community.
like I said, I'm still building my network. So for now, especially that my Spanish is not that fluent. I've tried applying, by the way, to NGOs, but it's just my Spanish isn't just good enough yet. So for now, I'm working on my Spanish, doing the corporate job. It's okay. It's actually nice. So in my company, I only get to speak English, which is fun, um, most of the time.
Would you
And
recommend Spain to Filipinos, especially those who are also planning to migrate, who are losing hope with the Philippines and wants to get out from there? I
I
mean,
would
Mexico
definitely
is not
recommend Spain.
working at any moment. So, would you recommend Spain?
Yes, I would definitely recommend Spain. Like I said, it's not a very expensive place to live in, especially maybe if you don't live in Madrid, it's even way cheaper.
Mm.
It's a good place. The weather is not that bad. We still have the sun. It's not that cold when it's the cold season. And like I said, we have the sun, which is amazing. I love the sun, by the way.
Yeah, we're always jealous. Our colleague always makes us jealous. You have beaches as well, right?
Yep.
Yes,
There
we
are
have
nice
wonderful
beaches,
beaches.
seafood.
We have in Costa del Sol. There are the islands like Canarias. There's Palma and stuff
Amazing
like that.
food.
Oh,
Have you visited the Alhambra already?
oh yes, of course. I
Okay.
visited that years ago, but I do not plan on coming back this summer because summers in Andalusia are horrible.
Okay.
But I recommend spring and autumn to go to Andalusia. You can see the Alhambra. You can also go to
Mhm.
Alcazar, where they shot. I think it's the set of Dorne for Game of Thrones in Alcazar.
Mhm. Okay.
I'm sure you have visited our embassy already, the Philippine embassy, right, in Spain. You
No,
haven't? You haven't
no,
processed anything. Like when you become a resident, I think you need to go to the Philippine embassy. You don't?
no, no,
Oh,
no.
because we had to do it here, right?
Well, yeah,
We
it
were like,
depends
I
on which
had to
visa
do
she
it
came in.
here in Germany. Like you submit your passport and they know that you're, it's like you're part of the, what do you call that? They just take note of how many Filipino citizens are in the country.
Mm.
So don't you do that as well there
Well,
in Spain?
I think they do, but personally, I did not have to take that route because the reason why I was going away was, uh,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
there.
But isn't it? Oh, I thought it was like you have to. It's a requirement from the Spanish embassy as well.
No, it's not a requirement for me.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
I'm here
I
on
was going to
special.
ask you if the services is good.
I'm
How's
here
the
on
services
special.
in the
But
embassy?
yeah, like the Filipino embassy, the services are pretty good according to my friends. So maybe I think the only concern that most Filipinos have here on the embassy is that they need to actually try to have offices on weekends because most of the people here are working in household. Most Filipinos here are working in household or jobs wherein they can't process papers during the week. So maybe a Saturday morning or something like that, and maybe holidays as well. They can have Spanish holidays. There are a lot of Spanish holidays, by the way.
Oh
That's
yeah,
always
we
True.
have a
Yeah,
lot
true.
of. I'm
it's like
already contemplating living there right now. So like maybe Rachel is right. I should move to Spain. So yeah, for me, when I moved here in Germany, I did have a bad experience, but that was in Berlin. That was like a long time ago. But in Frankfurt, the consulate's services is really impeccable. So the staff there are really great. So
Mhm.
hopefully the ones in Berlin also change because they weren't approachable when I came here. So I hope that changed and they were educated to be more hospitable. It's like we are known for to be a very hospitable
yeah,
country.
Filipinos are known to
And
be hospitable. That's so true.
I think they're only hospitable to tourists and to foreigners, but not to their own fellow men generally. I
No
think those
comment.
are I think generally Filipinos are nicer and kinder to other nationalities. But
I do notice that as well, but at the same time, I think it also goes with the culture that Filipinos are being pitted
very
against other Filipinos as well. And we are being told that Filipinos are manloloko, magnanakaw, and stuff like that. So it's like other Filipinos are also being very, very careful
Mhm.
in their defense. But of course, as a person working in the embassy, you should not be picking who you're giving a special attention to.
Mhm.
what's the one Filipino toxic culture that you want to get rid of? Maybe
Utang
two.
na loob.
Oh,
Mhm.
I hate
yeah.
that. I hate that when someone does something for you, they really expect you to, they're going to hold it over you forever. Like, I did this for you back then. So you have to do this for me now. And every time they ask for a favor, you're compelled to do it because of utang na loob. I think that's a very, very toxic Filipino trait.
Yeah. What else? We have a
Mhm.
lot, right?
There's a very long list. I mean, parents expecting their kids to be their supporters, like financially and for
Support
every,
system.
it still goes down to utang na loob. Um, yeah.
How about with other people? What are that you see like generally? Like you think the marites phenomenon is also a toxic culture for us?
But I think the Marites culture is very Spanish as well.
Oh, really? They're also like that.
Yes, because the chismis, or they also call it chismis here. Oh my god, the old ladies like to do it.
Okay.
Um, the other day I was sitting at the bank waiting, and this is, it's at the bank along on the way to work, so it's the area of where mostly old, very Spanish people live, and there are these
Mhm.
old ladies coming in, and they're just making chismis, and I'm just sitting there listening. I'm like, holy shit, this is where Filipinos got it.
Yeah,
That's also, yeah. I think we have it here also, the
yes, I think
omas and
we have
upas
that all
always
around the
gathering.
world, but I know it's more
I,
intense in these
I think it
countries.
lessens the stress.
Yes,
It's
sure.
like talking to your psychologist. All the stressful things
Yes,
you
if you
have to
talk
talk
about it,
exactly.
yeah.
So I think that's not a toxic culture. It's relaxing unless you talk false things about the
Yes, and
person.
badly
Yeah,
about
And I
someone.
exactly.
think another toxic culture is crab mentality. I think
Uh,
it's a very Filipino thing as well. I don't
Mhm.
really see it in other people here so far, but a lot of Filipinos do that. Like, just they feel threatened by other people and then they pull them down and things like that. And it's, yeah.
yeah. Well,
Like
yeah.
what you said, it's safe to say that I try to stay away from a lot of Filipinos here. I have Filipino friends, but they're good. They're very supportive and everything.
Mhm.
You keep your circle small. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I keep my circle small.
Which is sad, actually. Generally, I like the Filipinos. They're really fun, caring people. But I think it's the familiarity. When they're too
Yeah,
familiar, then everything, shit happens,
Mhm.
right? I think, yeah, an arm's length is good, what
Mhm.
Rachel said, and life goes on. So, yeah, they're really happy and caring people. It's one of the things. That's why we are very effective nurses because we care actually with other
yeah,
individuals. It's just that when they're too familiar with you, yeah, bad things happen.
Okay.
So anyway, what do you think are the ways when you were there? Let's go into your old life, but more connected to the new generation now. What do you think are the ways that young people can take effective action for change in the community? You were working with young people before.
yeah.
How about the new generation of Filipino Spanish? Should they be more active? Have you seen them, the third and fourth generation Filipino Spanish? What are
Well,
they?
first, yeah.
Yeah.
What they're like. First of all, I think one thing that we need to do right now, and I've talked to some friends in the academe and who are also here in Spain, is that to reestablish Filipino culture in these kids. Because a lot of these kids, younger generation, they don't even speak Filipino
Oh.
anymore. They just speak Spanish. And I think that it's good to for the embassy or for some um communities here to have programs where instead of sending these kids to summer camps with other Spanish kids, why don't we have a Filipino summer camp with Filipino people just being there, teaching culture, teaching them games, teaching them history and everything. I think that's the first thing that we need to do is we need to reestablish their ties to the Filipino culture. Because as I see it, like going to Filipino restaurants, kids don't even speak Filipino anymore, and they're like they're not. There's no sign of them being Filipino. And yes, you are Spanish because you're already born here. But at the end of the day, Filipino blood running through you, and it would be good to also be connected to your roots. And that's one thing that I always say with my friends, and they make fun of me because my English is very American, and they're like, "You're not American," and I'm like, "I'm not, but I'm very Filipino, and I'll always be proud of that, no matter where I go in the world. Like that's one thing I will be proud of. It's being
Um,
Filipino."
don't you have organizations like that? Because here in Europe we have Halo Halo. Sorry.
No,
These are third and fourth generation Europeans, Filipino Europeans, and they focus of integrating Filipino language and culture to this third and fourth generation Europeans. Don't you have that as well?
I like I said, I'm not very sure, but I've talked to some friends about it, and I'm like, you should really look into this program because it would be really good to
Mhm.
just get these kids connect to our culture.
Yes, and like our topic last week, it was a celebration of one ng wikang pambansa,
Mhm.
Yeah, because
where
it's
a
all
professor, yes, one ng wikang pambansa, it was celebrated a week ago.
Yes.
And our guest, Professor Vincent Bongayham, is teaching Filipino language here in the
Mhm.
University of Munich. So, do you have that integrated in universities as well? Have you heard?
I do not know, but I know that there are um it's being taught here. I've met someone who's learning Filipino language as well, or Filipino culture and Filipino history here. And even Filipino literature is being taught in one of the universities here, at least one.
Okay, which one is the most famous university? Because I think, except of the one in Italy, we also have the one in Madrid.
I honestly cannot answer. Like I said, yeah, I'm maybe going to integrate myself into the Filipino community bit by bit. But as of now, I'm just seeing which people I can approach and not. And of course, because Maria knows my situation, I can't just approach anyone.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly. So, anyway, what are you dreaming of, like to achieve there in Spain?
Wow, that's a hard question that I cannot really answer right now. I guess, no, it's like I do maybe wanna go back to school, maybe take up law, focus on human rights.
Mhm.
So yeah, human rights. Maybe
Back to
someday.
the roots, I guess.
It's maybe. It's just a maybe. And yes, of course, help more. What I'm doing right now is building my network because I have a network of friends back home wherein we do teach women or we do talk to women who are, victims of domestic violence. So we're doing a lot of empowerment talks, teaching them financial independence, teaching them how to build life from scratch, and building my network so that we can eventually, of course, it's a long timeline, we can eventually find funding to help them emancipate themselves from being
Do we have Gabriela Madrid?
what.
Do we have Gabriela Madrid?
I have no idea if we have that. um,
Yeah, okay. So I understand, but I think Gabriela and Migrante are worldwide as well.
Are those organizations or
Those are organizations for women and children
okay?
as well that help them with domestic cases. Because I've encountered a few here in Germany, and they had to refer them because
Mhm.
I would refer them to the embassy, but they sometimes wanted to seek organizations.
yeah,
So I ask other organizations. It's always hard because on our page of Filipinos in Germany and TalkAlley, sometimes some Filipinos would write to us
Mhm.
with regards to domestic issues,
mhm.
labor issues, and then automatically I would refer them to the embassy. But sometimes it doesn't work for them. They prefer to be connected to various organizations, Filipino organizations existing already here in Germany that are focused on assisting them with specific issues. So I actually have no clue about these organizations as well. So I try to ask local organizations, and it's just wow, just
Yeah,
so
it's
many things to go through before I really reach out to someone.
Yeah, but I think for what yeah, with that, we have organizations here, and that's what I think. What I'm very thankful about Spain, being in Spain, is that we're very big on preventing those things. So For example, I have a fight with my boyfriend in the street and he slaps me. Some
Mm.
passerby would report it, and my boyfriend would go to jail and something like that. So it's
Okay.
it's, it's taken very much seriously here.
Mm.
I would not say the same in the Philippines. That's why I'm focusing all the efforts on the Philippines. Just trying to get help. Right now, building my network to eventually, in the timeline, get funding for these women to start their lives over. Just a small thing to start over, to take their kids away and live a life away from their abusive husbands or their abusive households. And I think on the on gender equality, we're not just talking about women here. We're talking about all children who are abused by
Oh,
their
gender.
parents. Yes, all genders, all sexes, being abused by their parents for being gay, or for people being abused for disabilities that are not their control. So this is what I'm aiming to do, is getting them help, getting them someone to talk to, empowering them for emancipation and everything like that.
And we're very happy and proud that you're there right now, Rachel. And there's hope in Spain, especially for the Filipino community.
Mhm.
That
Oh yeah.
yeah, maybe a few years from now, you're gonna be holding the flag for us and helping a lot more people. I
Yes.
know you're just adjusting right now because you've been living there for a year, but we're very hopeful that you will do more in Spain. And we want to have you back again in the show to tell
Yes.
us more about what you have been doing
So thank you for being
in
with
the years
us.
to come.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for
You're
your
welcome.
time. And yeah, we wish you all the best in España. How do you say that good luck in Spain? Good luck. What's good luck in Spanish?
We don't have a direct translation to that.
Really? How about the greeting of your best wishes on your
Yeah, all the best
all the
or
best? Like
do
when you
well.
say
I
all the
know. I feel like I'm the wrong person to
Muchas gracias.
That's
ask. That's
Thank
thank you,
you.
but
Thank you a lot.
I don't know, maybe saludos or something like that.
Yeah.
oh, it's like a salutation.
Salutation. Yes, that's good. Okay.
Saludos in your
Saludos,
future.
Rachel.
Why how do you say
All
it
right, thank
in
you.
German? How about greet her in German? Then you
Ja.
have best of feel.
Alles Gute, Rachel. Bis zum nächsten Mal.
It sounds. It seems that it's just
It
like
sounds so angry, so
so
strict.
angry. No feelings at all. But in Filipino, oh God, forget it. Just congratulations, and we hope the best on your future endeavors there in
Okay.
Spain.
See
I
you
mean,
All right.
there.
hope to
I
have you
hope to
again
go
on
to you,
TalkAlley.
and maybe I'll come visit you.
Hey,
Yes. I will
yes,
visit you
visit
first.
us.
Okay. Bye. See you. Happy
Bye. See
Sunday.
you. Happy Sunday.
Bye. Yes.
It's so fun. I love talking to our fellow Golden Dragon.
Yes.
Ilongo, of course, and someone's also here in Europe. Thank you so much, Rachel, and we really hope the best for her and in her future endeavors.
Yes.
And of course, Mike.
Yes.
We forgot to tell everyone about the Christopher Street.
Yes, talking
Day
about
yesterday.
talking about diversity, we were also in TalkAlley was visiting the yesterday's
Yes.
Christopher Street Day that was held in Darmstadt, and it was a
And
blast.
Filipinos in Germany as well. We met a lot of
Mhm.
Filipinos there too who participated during the parade.
Yes,
So
check
here
us
is-
out.
Lights are shining bright. My friends are in the club. We'll go all night. I see you in the back. The mood is right. If I just had your number, I would let you know how I feel. You walk up to me, start dancing to the music and the chase. Like this was meant to be. Take my hand, I feel my heart beat, and I don't want this moment to stop. Time to go home. Don't want this night to end. Yeah, about time we stop pretending. Come home with me. Let's write a history. Tonight I'll make you see. It's all about us. It's all about us. As we're dancing close together, making
Yay!
Yes.
So that was really fun. I love being there. I've met a lot of cool people.
Yes.
I just saw some Asian family passing by,
Yes.
so
So
that
the
was
Christopher
fun.
Street Day commemorating the Wallstone riot that was
Yeah.
in
In 1969,
Yes.
there was a Stonewall riot.
Yes.
I'm sorry, and the riot was the club where the
Mhm.
riot started was in Christopher Street. That's
Yes.
why we're celebrating
Correct.
Christopher Street Day. So that's basically
Yes. So, and we also would like to advertise again our formal book launch that is going to
yes.
be
Please do join us
launched
at the
in
Villa Flora in Munich.
September 10 in Munich.
Yes, it's a Sunday, so
Yes.
we hope to see you there.
Yes.
And for those who bought the book, thank you so much for buying it. And it's available on Amazon. Please do get a copy now.
Yes. So also for our sponsor, please visit for your door-to-door balikbayan cargo service here in Germany. Contact the reliable and affordable Filipino business Balikbayan Cargo and Pinoy online store. They deliver to any destination in the Philippines. You may email them via welcome at filipino-business.de or check out their website filipino-business.de for more information.
And of course,
Yes.
we're wrapping up the day now. And of course, again, Hola España.
Yes.
And a good evening, Philippines, and good day, Germany. We hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yes. This is Mike.
And this is Maria.
And this is Talk Alley. Bye. Have a nice
Bye.
Sunday.